Hello Wanderers, welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series following Alexandros of Crete. We have continued to raise our forces to lay siege to the Emir Shu'ayb's half of the island, and we are almost ready to do so. Our Flamen Nasir has been doing a good job bringing the word of Zeus and the other Greek gods to the island, and people have been supporting our righteous cause here. As you can see, popular opinion has increased, and that's giving us a pretty nice bonus here to our popular opinion, which is good. We are able to keep control of the island a little bit better. We are basically ready to go in. We're going to let one more round tick by as we recruit our troops, and then we're going to go and take the island for our own. Once again, the enemy has brought forth their forces to bear against us, but we shall see if they decide to engage us in battle. They do. Well, Emir, we will crush you once again. Many battles. How many battles has this been? 7, 8 times we have faced the Emir in battle. And yet, though we have retained the upper hand every time, the Emir manages to escape with his small retinue of forces and survive. Until now. Speak of the devil, who is now in our hands. Emir Shu'ayb captured in that battle. Now, you may think this is the perfect opportunity to enforce our demands. But if we were to do so, all hostages taken will be released. That includes the Emir. We cannot choose that option right now. The Emir was the man who killed our wife, as you can see, executed on the orders of Emir Shu'ayb ibn Umar of the Hafsid dynasty. We cannot allow him to leave, to escape. That is not going to happen. Torture? Should we torture him? I think so. I think that he deserves torture. We are vengeful after all. Although we are not necessarily a cruel man, cruelty to our mortal enemy, I think, is only justified here. We will make sure that the Emir feels the pain that we have felt in the years since our wife's death. Let him suffer just as we have suffered, just as she has suffered. And now, execution. Burn him at the stake. Let us do so. Our enemy is gone, dead. Well, that is excellent news. And that leaves Emir Yusuf ibn Umar in charge. As you can see, his elder son, or his eldest son, was slain by Boethios in one of those battles. And we have his second son as our prisoner. So that leaves this young boy as the ostensible ruler, though obviously Emir ibn Shu'ayb is the real power here, and he is a man who takes after his father. Arrogant, stubborn, arbitrary, not a particularly good ruler either. Well, that is fine. Engineered for destruction. I think that this may be a pretty good option here for us to take. It's not going to necessarily help us in our siege because we don't have siege engines, but we do want to finish this siege and finish off our enemies. Let's take a look at the battles here. We'll slow time down just a little bit. Events. Damianos killed Aziz. Gabriel wounded Wali Hisham. And Boethius wounded Amrus Amusid. Very well. Let's take a look at this battle here. Details. Damiano slew Wazir Zanunid, and we captured the Emir in that fight. And then here, details of this battle. Masood was slain by Damianos. So Damianos is proving himself and his worth in these battles. So we may have spent a lot of money bringing him to our side, but it was indeed worth it. Looks like this siege is going to be ended in the not too far future here. Let us see what happens once it is done. And there we go. We have captured the remainder of the island from the Emir. We gained a little bit of money from that as well, which is good. But now we can enforce our demands. Let us do so. We'll gain the contested titles. We'll gain fame. We'll gain prestige. We'll gain glory. Well, our acclaimed knights will gain glory, aka Gabriel. Let us enforce our demands. Let us send the Hafsids from this island once and for all to the cocky Count Alexandros. Your low character is the subject of Greek plays. I do not think that is the case. You are a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. Signed, Yusuf Hafsid. You have no choice, Yusuf. This is ours, and it shall be. There we go. We now completely control the island, and that is very good news. We can create the Duchy of Crete, but we're going to need quite a bit more money for that, so it's going to take a little time to get that amount of money. Hopefully our steward will be able to help us with that, but for the moment, peace has come. Curious where young Yusuf went off to. Let's take a look at the title here and the claimants. Yusuf. He's just wandering. We shall see. And we will take a look at our prisoners. Mayor Hisham. He is technically our mayor, but not for long. We are going to... Oh, that's an act of tyranny. We can't revoke his titles, so I suppose we could just keep him in prison, castrate him, blind him. We're going to move you to the dungeon. I see no reason not to. We'll let him die there. He is going to die very soon. He's near death. Being in the dungeon is not going to make that any better, and we'll put somebody more reliable in charge there. We can station our retinue here. Stationing them does give them some small bonuses, I believe. Stationing them in Heraclio gives us some bonuses anyways. Stationing them here... Oh, not Paleohar. We want to station them in Chania. There we go. Excellent. So, a little bit of bonuses to them for stationing them. Another tours and tournaments feature. So, what now that success has been found in our war? Well, this is really just the beginning of Alexandros's story here. The first chapter, if you will. What happens from here? Well, we have several goals. One is to spread the Hellenic religion. Ideally, we would love to eventually get some of these holy sites, Alexandria, Tunis, Servia, Athens, Vaticano. Probably the most likely ones are going to be Alexandria, Tunis, but there is the possibility of eventually getting here in with the Byzantines and working from the inside. We could swear fealty and try to get religious taxation here, which would mean that we are religiously protected. We will look at that option because the Byzantines are going to come calling for us at some point. We are a de jure part of their empire, and they are going to push that claim at some point. So if we can protect our people here on the island, we will do so. But it has been a few years since our wife has died, and we do need to start thinking about the future. and the future of our dynasty and who is going to rule after us. So let us take a little look here. Are there any options for potential wives? Well, we don't really have any in our court, I believe. Let's see. Gerafalia, she is a bit older now. Zene, you know, we could arrange some marriages here to our courtiers. Zene, you could perhaps marry Narcisse. There we go. And Gerafilia may make a decent match for our Marshal Gabriel. So let's arrange for that as well. So hopefully we'll get a few. I mean, we could convert them to Hellenism. He will accept. I think so. I think after this point, we would go to Gabriel and we would say, Gabriel, that although we understand and respect the new God of the Christians, the old gods of our people, of the Greek people, these gods are the true gods of the Greeks. And can you not see how they aided us in those battles? How we found a victory over forces overwhelming? Gabriel, you must join us. And no doubt he shall. But who is going to be our own wife? Well, let us see here. The options that we have are quite far afield. I would certainly love it if we had a Hellenic Greek woman within one of our courts to marry, but it does not seem like that is the case. We do have this temple holding. We could grant that to... Could we grant that to Nasir? I don't think so. No, it does not appear to be so. Do you already hold a title, Nasir? He does. He holds the Temple of Aegios and Nikolaos. Right. So he already holds one. Who could we grant this to? Let us see. Grant to Iosef. He is our guest. Isidorios. His learning's actually not too bad. You know, we could grant you that title. Yeah, I'm actually... I mean, we could keep it for ourselves. What is it giving us? It's not giving us anything because it's the wrong holding type for us. Yes, of course. Let's give it to Isidorus because we want to keep him around, and this will keep him around essentially for free. Glory Hound Vassal Stance. Interesting. Vassal stances are something that we're going to have to take a look at as well. So Isidorus is now another one of our Flamen, but he is a warrior one, so he will serve us well, I am sure of it. Now I would really like to... Do they have any women in their court? No, they have nobody in their court. There we go. Gabriel did convert to Hellenism. Excellent. Hopefully they will have some children that will go on to keep the religion continuing. Mayor Sadan of Rethymno. Another Mualadi has taken control of this city. We're going to have to deal with that at some point, but we can't revoke titles right now. Although we maybe can once we should have, you know, we should have increased the law here and then revoked the title after that, but that is quite fine. In fact, can we revoke your title due to the fact that you are of a different religion? On decline. Yeah, I'm fine. He will accept. Very well. Let's revoke that title. He has no choice. And let us grant it to somebody else who would be Yosef. I mean, he's disloyal, but he is a strong fighter. Very well, let's bring him on. Just to have him as our vassal. We need Hellenic vassals and courtiers. It is something that we cannot do without at this point. Once again, I'm looking here at the women who are available to be wed. Can we sort this out here? But does any of this really, does any of it really make sense? Is there anybody anywhere nearby? Serbian, that's probably the closest. I'm going to take a little look through here and see what kind of options we have in that regard. So, after looking through, I have decided that none of these options really make sense from a role-playing perspective. There's no way that we're getting a wife from somewhere way over here or way down here onto our little island of Crete. We're gonna have to wait and hope that we'll get some Hellenic women in our courts. I think they might just spawn naturally over time, but we'll have to see. We can hold off. We are only 22 years of age, so there's a little bit of leeway here when it comes to getting ourselves a wife and getting children, as long as we don't get assassinated in the meantime. So we're just gonna kind of continue on here without a wife, mourning the death of our previous wife, Gregoria, and our unborn child. Well, we do need a court physician. Ooh. If we look for a... I mean, I want to save money, obviously, to potentially get the Duchy title. But if we... Oh, Divine the Stars. What does that do? The vile fiend Sa'dan makes my blood boil. How could Zeus see fit to curse the earth with Sa'dan's worthless brashness? No, it is obvious he is Bacchuskin. He is worse than both putrid boil and ravenous locust. I cannot stand the mere thought of breathing the same vile air as him. I must do something. I must act. My sanity depends on it. I will not rest until Sa'dan is dead and buried. Indeed, we will be once again driven by vengeance. Perhaps it was that we discovered that Sa'dan was the man who led the forces that captured our wife, only discovering this too late, and that he was the one who brought her to the Emir to be executed. Well, Sa'dan, you are our rival, and hopefully we shall manage to get our revenge on you at some point in the future. We can discover cosmic insight in the near future by divining the stars. Well, let's do so. I'm curious to see what will happen when we use this option here. Nothing at the moment, it appears. Ah, here we go. Divining the stars. I've spent many nights looking up at the night sky, tracking the movements of the celestial bodies. Over time, I noticed a pattern, and after many days of analysis, I'm now confident in my prediction. The signs are clear. It is time to heal old wounds and make new friends. So we gain this bonus, making new friends. It's going to increase our diplomacy, decrease our martial, and our diplomacy lifestyle experience is going to go up. It is a time of peace on the island, so we will use that peace well, hopefully. As I was going to say, searching for a physician may give us the opportunity to find a Hellenic woman that could potentially be our wife. But it appears that we are looking at a couple of gentlemen here instead. Let's see, we have Isidoros. Wait, I thought you were... No, this is somebody different. Renowned physician, unyielding defender, athletic. Damn, this guy's good. And what about this guy here? I mean, obviously, Isidoros would be much more trustworthy. It's going to take a bunch of our money. but having his aptitude is just average though. Ooh, that's gonna set us back quite a bit, essentially 50 months back from gaining that duchy title. No, considering that really our main option there was trying to find a potential wife, that does not seem to be something that we need to deal with right now. So we will let time heal the wounds here, and we actually, we're gaining some forces. We have a very small army, not enough to really take on anybody here, even if we wanted to. But there are options. There are options of expansion, just none that are very good right now. All is fair. Many treatises have been written on honorable conduct in war, but those authors' lives weren't on the line when they put pen to paper. I know from experience the best way to defeat my enemies is to ensure that we only engage in battle on my terms. The question is, what terms would be most advantageous? Tricking our enemies into overextending. I think that is a tactic that we have used before. Hit and run tactics. Yeah, okay, that's not so bad. But I think that we'll trick our enemies into overextending. In fact, this makes a lot of sense. If you will remember in the last episode where we battled those Bulgarian mercenaries, they thought that they had the advantage there. We tricked them into coming in despite our forces being smaller. They overextended and we won those battles. So, successful deception. I gathered my retinue together for some war games, eager to try out my idea of faking a rout to lure my opponents into overextending. Once we split up into teams, I took care to show everyone how to yield just enough ground to trick the other side into moving out of position without giving so much that our line would break. My new tactic worked flawlessly, allowing us to encircle the enemy team and force them to surrender. I await the day I can use this trick in real battle. We gain martial lifestyle experience, and we gain manipulative tactics for 5 years. We'll see if that comes into play. I'm not sure if it will. Train for a tournament. Ooh, the call of steel cannot go unanswered. I shall don my equipment and head to the training grounds for some practice. Me and my knights will sharpen our skills, and this could raise our prowess for an upcoming grand tournament. Yeah, let's start the training. We don't have much to spend our prestige on anyways. And then you turn to the right, Gabriel yells, while dealing a powerful blow to my sword that makes me take a couple of steps back. They won't go gentle on you in the tourney, my lord, he says, drying the sweat from his forehead. Gabriel continuing to teach us as he has taught us many things in the past. If you want to win, you can't afford to lose, not even to me, not even once. Prowess challenge. A lot of different potentials here. We can increase our prowess. Continue to increase it. All right, let's see what happens here. Training is successful. We gain well trained for 10 years. And the hunter's art. To blindly chase a wild creature, launching arrow after arrow or spurring even harder. Futile, laughs Gabriel, my renowned Heteria. Beasts can be cunning. They scent the stalker on approach, scatter before the hunting pack, and turn violent when cornered. Bringing down quarries means knowing them and their wilderness well, and, once the horn is sounded, never relenting. The most skilled of hunters is Gabriel. In his company, my vassal Boethios and I are coming to know the ways of Zeus's creatures, and the ways of outwitting them. To the chase, we gain the trait Hunter, as does Boethios. Excellent. That is a good trait to get, Hunter. It's going to increase our prowess, stress loss, and opinion of Hunter characters. And another event here. Nice. Getting a bunch of events in a row, breaking up the monotony of this time of peace. There had been a smuggling ring operating in Chania for some time. However, officials were unable to find any useful information on them that would lead to these criminals' arrests. However, my officials managed to capture one of the smugglers, who turned out to be an extreme coward. Even a casual mention of torture was enough to turn this man into a quivering mess, and he told the authorities everything. The members of the smuggling ring have all been caught and justice doled out. All in all, it was a great success. That man's cowardice was key to our victories. So, County of Chania gains smuggler ring arrested for 12 months. It's going to increase our control growth and popular opinion. And we gain a little bit of prestige. Speaking of control, I think that we have forgotten to assign Gabriel to increase the control in Chania. So let's get him to do that. How close are we to converting here in the original county? 15 years, so it's going to take a long time to convert, but it will eventually happen. We can probably stop swaying Narcisse. He is on our side quite far now, so let's end that scheme, abandon that, and I would like to sway our steward here, Ache. So let's sway him over as well, because hopefully he'll bring us more money if we do it like that. So we are essentially going to have to let some time pass here. We're gonna take living off the land. Or are we? Natural dread, control growth, organized march. I mean, it would be nice to get some... I mean, should we switch over to stewardship for a little while? Focus on dealing justice, administering the lands. You know, I don't normally do this. Normally, I'll just continue with one tree and go with it straight to the end. Raid speed, supply capacity, organized march, Parthian tactics, development. I think we're gonna go, I think that we are going to take stalwart leader here, interestingly enough, to become an even better warrior. But I think we're actually going to, can we switch? We cannot switch for, I think, a certain amount of time. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that we can't switch for a little while. I wanted to switch to the wealth focus here. Once we can, we may do so, even though we'll gain experience slower on that, just to try to get the money, but it doesn't seem like we can do so just yet. So yeah, we're gonna let time roll on. We're gonna take events as they come. Hope that the Byzantines do not attack us before we can get the money that we need to form the Duchy of Crete. It's going to take about, what, 80 months? No, 70, 65 months or so. What is that, 5-6 years? So we'll probably get some events that will boost up our money a little bit in the meantime, but we'll have to let a little time pass here anyways. Swaying the Ashkenazi culture. Let's say the Ashkenazis are good people. I think so. I think it's fair to say that they are good people. The one that we know is, even though he doesn't like us very much. There we go. Our money's increasing a little bit as well as our control over Chania increases as well. So might not take us as long as we originally thought. Is there any ways to... I don't think there's really anything we can do to increase the amount of money we're making other than that. I mean, we could reduce our men-at-arms, but I'm not really too keen on that. I don't want to have to spend the money to rebuild them. The nice thing is that once we do get ourselves the duchy title, that will give us more options when it comes to marriages. We may be able to actually get ourselves some potential alliances here. Bulgarians, there are going to be options developing here. So, my steward Ache, known for his interest in venery, brings rumors of beasts spotted in my realm. I'm hearing much talk from Chandex. It is said a foul wolf has been terrorizing the local villages, snatching livestock before disappearing in the slopes. Interesting. Chandex has gained beast sighting for 3 years. Unsuccess chance increased in there. Well, I mean, I would love to do a hunt, but I cannot afford to spend that much money on it just yet, so we shall wait. But we're actually getting pretty close to the amount of money that we need for that title, so it's going to be about 2 more years. We'll get that title. We're only 25 years old, so we've got time. And yeah, we shall get this extra martial lifestyle perk here. Courtship. Chivalric dominance. You know, I wouldn't mind taking serve the crown here. You know, I'll get the first of each of these. I know I said I was going to go down to the strategist here. We're going to get the first of each of these. Here we go. This will be very helpful. We're going to focus on wealth for a little bit of time at least, or domain. No, let's focus on wealth until we can change it up once more. We need to develop our island. We need to build up. This is under the advice of our able steward here, Ache. He has informed us of what we need to essentially rule these lands. And look at that. These hides will bring a nice profit. Taking that option, just boom, gave us exactly enough money, or even a little bit more money than we need to form that duchy title. I think that was a pretty good choice. So we can create the Duchy of Crete. Let us create that title. We will gain prestige, and there we go. We are now a mighty duke. And now we will have plenty of more options that we're going to look at in the next episode. Until then, thank you for watching.